Welcome to the 25th edition of the Crocodile Trophy, the most legendary mountain bike stage race in the world.
Hello, my name is Toronosuke Inoue. I'm from Japan.
Soy Pedro Bernis, vengo de Barcelona, España.
Ich bin Monika Bayer aus Österreich.
I'm Max Mullen from Sydney, Bondi Beach.
My name is Alan Gordon and I'm from South Africa.
Hi, I'm Ching Su. I'm from Singapore.
As always, the Crocodile Trophy begins its journey from Cairns, in Australia's tropical north. Here, more than 150 participants and crew from all over the world will start their adventure for the 25th Crocodile Trophy. I'm joined in commentary by Martin Visiter, who's also competing for the 10th year in a row.
I keep coming back to this unique race because there's nothing else like it in the world. As rider representative, I welcome first-timers to the country and the Crocodile Trophy, one of them being Angelika Tatzreiter. She says that this is her first time in Australia and she's curious about the terrain, the country and the locals.
Martin, you've been living here for 16 years, you're an Austrian by birth, and you're saying that you meet people from around the world at the Crocodile Trophy. And for many reasons, it's a dream come true to be here, like every year. For many like-minded mountain bikers, they come here to summon the experience this unique adventure race has to offer. It's the day before the race start, and they gather the riders for the official rider briefing.
The race is supported by the Queensland government, and Gerhard Schönbacher welcomes his racers and crew for the 25th time. It's more than 20 nationalities that are participating this year.
The nice thing is, after one day, we are all friends. And that's what makes Crocodile Trophy so special.
At some point of their life, they speak about crocodile. Like, some of them they can do it, some of them they cannot, but I think it's the dream of all of them, for sure.
It is a race for the elite, it is a race for everyone, and this year's stage plan includes more than 700 kilometres of racing, over 13,000 metres of elevation, and will take 8 days to complete. From the rainforests in and around Cairns, the Crocodile Trophy heads to the outback of the Australian bush, and the riders will stay at a coffee plantation and a crocodile adventure park before finishing on a beach in Port Douglas.
It's time to start the race. Final preparations are in full swing.
In Belgium, we have not a lot to train like this. We have the Ardennen. That's kind of couples, but yeah, small but not so high as here.
We trained a lot, so I think we are ready for it, but not for the first places.
The ups and downs is the challenge, but that's why we move out of our local territory, I would say.
The riders come from everywhere. This is stage one, and it starts with a neutral ride to the official start out of Cairns. On these first few kilometres, the riders' dreams and their plans suddenly become reality.
Peter Young says that he has a bucket list that he wants to work its way through, and he's ticked off quite a few races, but this is the biggest tick of them yet. Felix Vogler started thinking about this race 5 years ago, and since then it's been on his mind, and now finally happening.
So, here we go, and what follows the official start is a high-paced ride through the rainforest. The pace is so high that the peloton has broken up by the time the front group reaches Copperlow Dam, which is the Cairns City water reservoir.
The lead woman of the field is the multiple Austrian marathon national champion Angelika Tatzreiter. She rides extremely strong, likes to climb, and also to descend fast. She also got to know the Australian bush. It was a vine, a Wedewal, that grabbed her, ripped her jersey, but she can laugh it off. She was stuck a little bit, but kept riding without any problems. That vine was so tough, she had to get off the bike, remove it, before she could continue.
At the feed zones, it's important to drink a lot, because the biggest challenges of the first stage are the extremely high tropical humidity on the coast, and then the dry heat in the sparse bushland. Everybody suffers in the Croc Trophy, and this year, for the first time, a third of the stage leads the races through the Davies Creek Mountain Bike Park.
Markus Beck from Germany says that the heat was absolutely brutal, especially in the Davies Creek Mountain Bike Park.
Just hot, dry, no wind, and just that's the element that makes it tough.
In the opening stage, a trio was able to break away, and together they created a gap of almost 8 minutes to the rest of the field. The Australian marathon specialist Michael England claims the first stage win at Ringer's Rest in a sprint finish, much to his own surprise.
It's amazing. It's well above what I expected, to be honest, as far as the placing today, but I just rode my own race.
For the first time, we finish at the Ringers Rest camp. Here, all the racers can truly immerse themselves into life of the Australian bush, amongst unique surrounds with local animals and typical local landscape. It's a very easygoing atmosphere and perfect to recover from a tough day in the saddle.
And this is where the stage presentations are made. The reward is one of the treasured Croc leaders' jerseys. It's a glorious morning in the Atherton's Tableland for day 2 of the Crocodile Trophy. A 76-kilometre circuit marathon is on the agenda today, and everyone is busy in camp already. The crew includes many locals who know the conditions very well.
Hopefully they'll be well recovered, but again, another second day of that extreme heat. It's gonna play on the minds of the riders, absolutely.
Today is another day. Go for another day. That's what I do.
Alan Gordon, Bram Says, Alex Maloney.
Every morning we get called up to the start line with the leader jerseys taking the front row. The second stage, it includes 3 major climbs and 1900 meters of elevation. The trail goes through the World Heritage listed Dunbula National Park.
There are quite a few participants this year who have completed multiple Crocodile Trophy races in the past, and many have returned for the anniversary 25th event. One of the first-timers is Lucas Coffman, who's racing in the flashing green leader's jersey as the fastest Austrian. As an experienced and full-time mountain biker, he handles the conditions here well.
Lucas mentions that the terrain here keeps changing a lot. It goes from firm, where you can race really, really hard, to sandy, then rocky, where you have to be extremely careful. But it's simply very special because you're literally racing through the bush in the middle of nowhere. And he's never experienced something like this before.
The climbs today are part of the trail network, which is known locally as the Mount Edith Tour, which challenges the leg strength of the riders. The descents are the rewards. Many riders rave about today's panoramic views in the surrounds that they experience so intensively. Many small groups form, and the riders like to work together, especially on the flat sections towards the finish. Some have to fight on their own.
At the front end today, it's the South African Alan Gordon who attacks. And the stage win goes to Bart Claessens after having a bit of bad luck on day 1.
Yesterday I lost 15 minutes and I was not happy with that. But I was thinking 2 weeks ago, I was thinking maybe I can do for the overall. But yeah, when you lost 50 minutes, it's a lot of time. And today, I don't know what happened, but yeah, legs were back.
A great day for Bart Claessens, but the race now is in full swing. The racers are fighting for podium positions across all categories. Back at the camp, a relaxing afternoon awaits the riders, where the property owner himself prepares a good old Aussie damper.
It's a very welcome treat for riders in between lunch and dinner.
To have these push bike people here, the Croc people here, has been a real buzz. It's been, you know, something very, very special to us, and I think it works both ways. They find it special and we find them special.
But since he already has the leaders after day 2 are Angelika Tatzreiter and Michael England. Here to chase hard to defend his leader jersey. It's got a 25-second gap to Alan Gordon.
So here are the results after 2 days of racing. The leading men are racing in a league of their own and have a gap of more than 9 minutes to the Spaniard, Brandon Marquez Fernandez. Day 3 of the Crocodile Trophy will showcase the Herberton Range National Park and the popular Atherton Mountain Bike Park on its 74-kilometre marathon distance.
Again, this year's route proves that the Crocodile Trophy is super unique and diverse. It's got flex sections where large groups of riders stay together and ride together. And then once the climbing starts, it breaks the field apart, but the pace is still very, very high. It's day 3, and us, the riders, we start to feel the legs.
Martin Ultimat is one of the competitors. He says that you can't compare this race to anything else. It's absolutely wonderful.
I don't really know what to expect when we came here. Never been to Australia, so yeah, it's been good so far. Really enjoyed it.
The organisers make sure that the feed zones are strategically placed so that the riders can be thoroughly supported with water, electrolytes, fresh fruit and muesli bars have been prepared. The Crocodile Trophy is an incredibly complicated logistical operation, and this year it has been an Australian and multiple race finisher who has put the stage plan together.
What I tried to do in each and every stage is provide something that everybody will enjoy. I think that over the 8 stages, we've managed to cover not only those who are technically gifted, but those who can climb and those who are strong on the dirt, dry roads. I think I've created what's the best all-round course, and I hope you enjoy it.
It's really cool to have a course put together by a racer who races it himself. And over the years, we had a lot of great battles together, Brendan and I.
But it is tough. The riders are really feeling the heat. The steep climbs force many off their bikes, and with more than 200 kilometres in the legs, one has to stay mentally focused as well.
The Powerline track. It offers a first taste of the dry and open outback country. Everybody's very, very happy once we get to the finish.
With Alan Gordon taking the overall lead again, it is Bart Claessens who gets away and claims the stage for himself. He's feeling strong.
You have to wait till tomorrow how the legs are, and we see then. But I think the plan is to go attack, yeah.
The Croc camp for the next 2 nights is in Wandekla, the small picturesque town on the Atherton tablelands.
After 3 days, we get used to the race and the rhythm of the race, where recovery is so important. Life in the Croc camp takes its course and everybody's relaxing, as is fellow Austrian Lukas Kaufmann.
And he said generally this is the first race where he's sleeping in a tent. He says we are looked after very well. The tents are put up for us. The food that the crew prepares is delicious. It's a really cool experience, which I cannot recommend enough. Stage 4 of the Crocodile Trophy is a massive Queen stage. 3,200 metres of elevation and a classic marathon distance through the outback. The trails in the Atherton Mountain Bike Park make up more than 20 kilometres, and then the stage continues into the Herberton Range National Park.
Lucky for us, the race organisers had reacted to the expected high temperatures of the day and added 2 extra feed zones. It's hot conditions as always, and replenishing is super important.
It's very tough on some sections. Some riders have to push their 2-wheel machines on the ascents, but many are here for the adventure.
In Europe, when you have a mountain, you go little ways, go to it like a snake, but here just go over the top and etc. So even though I can't do everything, I'm really enjoying it. It's a really nice event.
At the front of the race, it's once again Bart Claessens, Alan Gordon, Michael England and the Spaniard Fernandez, who team up and race together very, very hard. These race leaders have clocked in almost 13 hours of racing by now. The majority of their fellow competitors in the peloton are way more than that.
Regarding that, we've got a fair few stages to go, so I'm not concerned, and I just want to get to the finish. So if there's a good result at the end of the 8 days, well, that will be a bonus.
It's the Crocodile Trophy. You need to be a good all-rounder on the mountain bike. It's different terrains, different weather conditions, and to manage those makes all the difference.
Alan Gordon is making his debut appearance at the Croc Trophy. He wins the Queen stage, extends his lead to Michael England to almost 6 minutes. Claessens comes in second. Fernandez and England come in third and fourth. A tough day in the office.
It was a long day out there, like 5 hours 40 plus, and yeah, just hard trails, but also enjoyable, going through river crossings, and yeah, it's just awesome.
The South African was stronger than me and I lost some time, but I became second, and I think I moved now in GC to the 3rd position, so that's good. But I was hoping for more this morning.
The Austrian Angelika Tatzreiter is the only elite woman in the field, but boy, is she impressive. She says that after 4 hours, she decided to increase her pace quite considerably. She overtook another 2 men. And because she thought to herself, if I ride faster, I'll come to the finish sooner.
An Austrian chef manages the kitchen and looks after the nutritional needs of the riders. Incredible amounts of food are consumed during the 8-day race. 180 eggs, 40 kilograms of meat or fish, 25 kilograms of pasta and a lot of veggies.
On today's menu, we got typical Austrian dumplings with beef stroganoff, delicious salads. It's a great feast for hungry riders.
Like every evening, the leaders' jerseys are celebrated. Stage 4, and the overall results look like this. Alan Gordon has a margin of almost 6 minutes from Michael England. Bart Claessens is third. Brandon Marquez Fernandez in fourth place. Another golden sunrise at the Crocodile Trophy, and while the racers have breakfast, the crew cleans and packs up the camp to transport it to the next destination.
Certainly go very hard, but it wouldn't be possible without a fantastic support crew who packs everything up for us, transports it to the next stage, and sets everything up again.
It's a very smooth transition.
It's amazing. It's hard. It's long. It's yeah, hot. Everything you can imagine. It's coming in the croc.
Today's another long day, but we're looking forward to getting to Skybury tonight. Ice cream and cake.
Looking forward to the end of Stage 5, where the riders will head to the Skybury Coffee Plantation. It's a marathon 120-kilometre endurance. First across rough terrain, which turns into a smash fest on the flat outback highways. The peloton, however, seems relaxed and yet on high alert.
You always have to be very careful where you ride. You gotta read the terrain, and even if it's in a peloton and it feels a bit more relaxed, it's easy to make mistakes.
But the legs are tiring. This will be the longest stage yet, and the riders find themselves in the dry Aussie outback. As you'd expect, they ride past the waterholes famously known as billabongs.
Mount Misery is first on the lineup, and as soon as we make our way over that, it's time to find friends, build a peloton, and smash home to the wonderful coffee freshly brewed in Skybury.
And that's what it's all about, replenishing, recovering, hydrating regularly at the feed zones to restore strength and what lies ahead.
Angelika says that you really feel the body on a day like today. She was riding together with Danny Beresford, fellow racer, and it was all about managing body temperatures today. So in the billabongs, they could jump in 3 times even, to take a quick bath. It was time necessary to cool the body down and help with regeneration.
One who attacks and dares a solo break is Stijn van Boxtel. With the 2 race leaders dominating the front end, the fight for stage wins is on. Alan Gordon, though, he looks good. The South African leads the chase group and they are hot in pursuit along the water channels towards Skybury. The Belgian claims the stage win with more than 1.5 minutes.
25k to go. I had an impulse in the mind and I went, and nobody was in the wheel, so I kept on going. I gave everything I had, and yeah, I have the win. I have a boomerang, so I'm really happy.
Finally, we've made it to the Skybury Coffee Plantation. It's a tropical oasis where they grow fresh papayas, bananas, and of course coffee. There's nothing nicer than sitting in the afternoon sun after a long day's race and recover.
Skybury is still owned by the McLaughlin family. Legacy and heritage is important.
You know, you hope it becomes bigger than one person and that legacy can continue. And that's one of the beauties about the Croc Trophy. It has a huge legacy in Australia, and there isn't many events around the world with that kind of legacy. And you know, the longer we can keep that legacy going, the better.
This very happy stage winner, Stijn van Boxtel, is with Bart Claessens and Alan Gordon on the top step. Once again, we see the colourful assembly of all the leader jerseys on the eve of stage 6.
Enjoy tomorrow's stage.
All the riders hit stage 6 brimming with confidence, full of energy. It's a 125-kilometre circuit marathon through the Mariba region, which surrounds Skybury.
It's relatively flat and very fast, with a technical middle bit, which really brings the heart rate up and the body temperature as well.
With a gap of over 6 minutes to his closest rival from Australia, Alan Gordon is not holding back. And again, the racing is intense.
It's a great event, it really is. People know of it, and it's one of the hardest mountain bike rides in the world, I'd say.
Yes, I agree, it's very hard, but at the same time, it's also very achievable if you train, if you're a mountain biker, and if you love the Outback. It's iconic, and what makes it special is this incredible vastness and the scenery that sometimes, when you look up and not just look at the rear wheel of the person in front of you, makes you wonder in awe.
For many of the foreign participants, it's less about the podium positions and stage wins, but about the bike riding and the adventure.
I'm cooked.
Monica says it is, of course, very hot, but laughs it off. And as she pedals along, you ride through the bush, and sometimes you think to yourself, why am I here?
Es ist ein Erlebnis.
Well, Ralph says it's an experience. It's different to riding in the Alps or anywhere else. Therefore, in Australia, it's simply exciting. It is exciting. The lead group again is made up by the strongest contenders in the elite category around the South African Alan Gordon. The young Austrian Lucas Coffman can't keep up and has to tackle the stage in a solo ride by himself. It's a tough task.
He sees his chance of being in a breakaway group and hoping that the guys in the back will let them go, but so far it hasn't happened yet. Not only the elites think about winning this race, it's also in the midfield where a lot of exciting stuff happens. It's a lot about race tactics. I found myself in first spot in my age group after two riders who were stronger than me had made mistakes or had bad luck. So all of a sudden, you look around you, you ride defensively, you try to defend the position, and the race is far from over.
And you know you have another day tomorrow.
Yeah, it's about managing your legs. It's about being consistent. That's what the beauty of stage racing really is. It's not one day where you put everything on the line. It's doing it again and again for 8 consecutive hard days.
It was a long stage again, a little bit of road racing it looks like. And I come from Holland and it's flat and with a lot of wind, so I think it was a stage for me. No, it was a stage for not big time differences, so I waited till the end. And today is my dad's birthday, so I gave him a nice present, I think.
Happy birthday to Mr. Klassen's Alan Gordon, however, leads the tour 5 minutes and 51 seconds from Michael England. Klassen's in third place.
It's the penultimate stage of the 25th anniversary edition of the Crocodile Trophy, and the atmosphere amongst us riders is very joyful. Mainly because for the first time we see less than 1,000 meters of climbing in today's stage, with a very, very fast descent at the end.
On the agenda for Stage 7, a fast stage is promised from Skybury, and the finish for the very first time at Hartley's Crocodile Adventure Park. But first the race starts on dusty roads, and the front of the field seems serious ahead of tomorrow's individual time trial. This is the last real chance to make up valuable seconds and minutes, and of course, rankings. At the front, a trio attacks and gets away. Among them, the Aussie Alex Malone and Gordon's teammate, Carol Van Wink. The high pace demands a lot of concentration.
You do have to really put a lot of faith in the riders in front of you if it is really dusty and loose. But, you know, the best thing to do, the safest place to be is on the front. So, you know, as much as possible, you kind of make sure you've got a little bit of clear space in front of you.
No, I think I kind of expected it to be this hard. Didn't think there was going to be that many pushing on the hills and that hot. The heat quite got to me. But yeah, I knew it was going to be hard, so it was nice.
The Croc train is moving, and it's thanks to all the supporters and the crew. Also, the regional mountain bike clubs get behind this event, and local event partners like Northern Performance, who make sure that with the road buggies and the motorcycle they supply, people like the doctor can be close to the racers in case something happens. And we certainly are in really good hands. She says that by now the Crocodile Trophy has become a fixture in her life, and it's the 5th time that she's been there. It's an adventure because you get to experience the outback in a totally different way that you wouldn't see otherwise. On the other hand, it's also a lot of fun to look after the riders. The whole team is working together really, really well. They've become friends over the years and look forward to coming back every year. Another challenge of the Croc are the river crossings. Luckily, we're far enough away from the coast so there's no crocodiles in there, but it's a welcome spot to cool off.
And finally, the Crocodile Trophy reaches the coastline again after a wild ride on the second last stage.
Today was really fast. I think it was over 30 kilometers an hour, but still enjoyable, and yeah, just try to defend the leader's jersey.
Today's race route was planned very carefully so that we arrive early at Hartley's Crocodile Adventure Park and have the entire afternoon spend some time one-on-one with some amazing Australian wildlife.
And for the first time in its 25-year history, the Crocodile Trophy makes a stop here, and camp is set up right in the heart of the park, surrounded by the Australian flora and fauna.
We have visitors from all around the world, and today we would also like to thank the Crocodile Trophy people that have chosen to come to our park, appropriately named because we also have about 3,000 crocodiles on our property here.
And as always, the leaders' jerseys are awarded at the day's end, and as always, they've been well earned.
It's time for the individual time trial. It's the last hoorah up the hill into some very, very flowy, fun, fast mountain bike trails, and then down the very famous bump track to the finish at 4 Mile Beach.
And again, the riders climb into the dry bush and then north towards the finish in Port Douglas. The Spaniard Fernandez starts ahead of points leader Bart Claessens.
We start in reverse order with the slowest rider in GC starting first and the race leader, the last one to head up the climb.
And there is the race leader, Alan Gordon, in the red overall leader's jersey. He starts the chase where every second counts. And this is the reward, the final race kilometres, a wild race and a 400 vertical metre descent on the infamous bump track before the official time stops.
It is a fantastic ride down the last few kilometers and a really well-earned finish. Here Lucas Coffman manages the last few jumps and the wild ride.
And Alan Gordon is in his element. He claims the stage victory in the individual time trial, and with it, overall victory for the Crocodile Trophy in 2019.
We riders were high-fiving each other and celebrating. And race founder Gerhard Schönbacher is already thinking about the next year.
He says the Croc Trophy is one of the more challenging races out there. However, people need not be scared of it because the racers can make it hard for themselves. You can actually finish a stage with a gap of 2 hours and reach the finish like everyone else. There are certainly many ways to finish the Croc Trophy, either as a winner, in the top 10, or as someone who wants to enjoy the ride at their own pace. The big finale of the anniversary edition of the Crocodile Trophy is the much longed for arrival together on 4 Mile Beach. It's an incredible finish.
As a mountain biker, this is one of the biggest achievements you can have in your career. And finishing it together with so many close-knit friends that race together for 8 long, hard days is an incredible feeling.
To have a good time on and off the bike is an experience that you wanna leave on. So, and I've definitely had that.
It's an amazing story. So I'll never forget it. Being from Europe, we think we have seen the world, but it's just a very, very small part of it. I mean, this is extremely beautiful.
For the start of the stage, I went out to the ocean. It was still really calm in the camp. And I watched the sunrise. I really enjoyed that. And now after the stage, when I know everything is done, it's just unbelievable.
The last few kilometres riding together along the beach, that was probably the most beautiful finish I've ever experienced in my whole life.
For Peter, it was a very emotional ride because he was riding in memory of one of his close friends. He felt like he was with him today.
It was a really nice race. Yeah, we didn't know what to expect in the beginning, but yeah, so happy we did it, and yeah, next year we'll be back to come and do it again, hopefully.
I didn't expect this. I only had one bad day, the second day. Otherwise, I felt good. I am really happy that I finished in third in this race. So here are the final standings. The winner, Alan Gordon in 2019, ahead of the Aussie Michael England, with Brandon Marquez Fernandez in third place.
Two elite winners, Angelika Tatzreiter and Alan Gordon, they both receive a special trophy by Australian artist and fellow racer Daniel Beresford.
Every finisher receives the coveted Crocodile trophies as their reward, and all Croc finishers will return home with an immense sense of achievement and memories of their unforgettable time in tropical North Queensland. The Croc Trophy will return in October of 2020.
I will be back at the start line for sure. I look forward to seeing many of you there.
I'm Mike Tomalaros on behalf of Martin Visata. We'll see you next year.